Coming up tonight on Middle Tennessee News, a tragic shooting in downtown Nashville has left a man behind bars, and a former Covington teacher has been arrested.
A California woman has come to the rescue of several mid-state horses, and a visiting scholar is coming to MTSU. All those stories, plus your local weather and sports. Middle Tennessee News starts right now.
Good evening, I'm Dylan Simmons.
And I'm Elise Sandlin. Welcome to Middle Tennessee News.
A man is behind bars after being charged with shooting a pregnant mother in downtown Nashville. 23-year-old Demarius Claybrooks Jr. was arrested for allegedly shooting 23-year-old Shay Beard in her stomach, killing her unborn baby. She was 8 months pregnant. Claybrooks Jr. fired his pistol at a car after the rear passenger got out and sprayed a crowd with bear mace. According to the MNPD, the discharge of the bear mace is related to an ongoing dispute between local women in the area, which Claybrooks Jr. is allegedly not involved in. Beard is still recovering at Vanderbilt University Medical Center, and the full charges against Claybrooks are still pending.
California woman rescues 13 horses taken from a Rutherford County stable that is currently involved in a police investigation. Earlier this week, we covered the rape charges held against Jason Lancaster, who allegedly had sexual involvement with a teenage girl. During the investigation at Lancaster's Pinnacle Stables property, they found horses that were reported to be in bad condition. Jenny Earhart from Premier Queen Rehab in California was notified of the case and came in to save the day. Earhart brought back 13 horses and is keeping them well fed and relaxed until they see a veterinarian next week. Lancaster is currently held in the Rutherford County Jail with a $1 million bond.
A former teacher in Covington, Tennessee was arrested after having sexual relations with a student. Alyssa McCommon was first arrested in early September after having sexual relations with a former student. During the first arrest, she also admitted to communicating with other students inappropriately. She was released on terms of having no contact with the victim or any minors, along with a $25,000 bond. She has now been placed back in custody after reportedly stalking and harassing the victim over text messages. On Tuesday, a recording of a phone conversation was played with the former student, suggesting she was pregnant with his child. McCommon's attorney says there's limited evidence supporting the phone call was his client. McCommon's bond was revoked on Tuesday, and she will undergo mental evaluation. Her next court date is set for November 27th.
Maverick, a 5-year-old boy, was injured in a car crash in Chapel Hill Saturday night on his way home from a birthday party. His mother, Danielle Proctor, was driving home around 8 p.m. with her 2 children, Maverick and his 1-year-old sister, in the back. A speeding car crashed into them from behind and sent them spiraling off the road into a tree. Proctor's husband was falling behind on the road and said it didn't look like anyone could have been alive in the car after the crash. Thankfully, there were no casualties. Maverick is being treated at Vanderbilt Children's Hospital with a severely broken leg, and the man who crashed into the back of the Proctor's car was airlifted to Skyline Medical Center, where he remains in treatment.
After the recent uprise of threats of mass violence against schools, the most recent being at John Overton High School in Nashville, another case has erupted as a cause for concern for officials. A 12-year-old has been arrested in Hermitage, Tennessee. The 7th grader was expelled and arrested after threatening to commit a mass shooting on Tuesday. According to the Metro Police, the 12-year-old made the threat to another student at DuPont Tyler Middle School. The Metro Police were tipped by a student after the threat was made. He was charged in juvenile court with making a threat of mass violence and false reporting.
There's a buzz of excitement in Nashville amongst members of the Metro Council as they meet for a new term and make histories in more ways than one. Women now hold the majority of council seats, making up 22 of the 40 members, and for the very first time hold all 5 of the at-large council seats. The council's first openly transgender woman, Olivia Hill, has been elected as a member in a monumental moment for Metro Council. Hill serves alongside Zulfat Sarar, who was elected in 2019 and became the first Black person to hold a chair among the at-large council members. Members are excited that the entire first row of the council will now be filled with women for the very first time in the council's history.
Over the weekend, anglers who were fishing in a pond close to Camden stumbled upon a concerning find when they caught a makeshift explosive device. Deputies were dispatched in response to a report of an unusual object during the weekend. The individual who called 911 informed them that he had snagged what seemed to be an explosive device. which was confirmed by an official to be a tannerite bomb. A deputy with the Benton County Sheriff's Office attempted to trigger the bomb by firing at it 3 times, but it was determined to be too soaked with water to detonate. It is currently unknown whether the bomb has been detonated by law enforcement or not. And now Alexandra Aguilar joins us with our first look at the weather.
Thanks, Dylan. It's looking like it'll be a warm rest of the week with temperatures in the mid to high 80s. Shelbyville and Mount Juliet are sitting at a high of 85 degrees with a humidity of 51 and 48%. Murfreesboro is coming in 1 degree cooler with a high of 86 degrees and a slightly lower humidity of 44%. Smithville, McMinnville, and Woodbury are resting at 84 degrees and humidity of 51%, 47%, and 50%. Manchester has our coolest temperature today at 83 degrees and a humidity of 47%. Dylan, back to you.
Thanks, Alex. And still ahead on Middle Tennessee News, the Nashville Metro Council has made history, and Dr. Larry Burris is back with this week's media commentary. That's coming up next on Middle Tennessee News.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on.
You're coming out.
They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Slip up and say another show.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right. Because a few hours ago in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
The black truck? Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzzed and overshared again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
So yeah, I know, that's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome back to Middle Tennessee News. Joining us now is Dr. Larry Burris with this week's media commentary.
More and more open to public scrutiny. Every branch except one, and that one is perhaps the most important, the judicial branch. Under current guidelines, federal courts are not open to either camera or sound coverage. Both still and video cameras, as well as audio recorders, are banned, except for certain ceremonial functions such as naturalization proceedings and swearing-ins. And the ban applies to all levels, from the local district court all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court. There has been some limited experimentation with camera coverage of federal courts, but with all of the high-visibility trials coming up, this might be the time to expand the experiment a bit to include local federal trial courts. Of all the three branches of government, the legislative, the executive, and the judicial, it is the court system that is, in fact, preeminent, the first among equals, as it were. The executive can propose all the laws at once, and the legislative branch can pass them. But if the judicial branch says the laws are unconstitutional, then they're null and void. And it is this power to decide which laws will be enforced that makes the judicial branch so powerful. It is for this very reason that the courts need to be covered in more detail than they currently are. And this certainly applies to the body that deals with both fact and law, and that's the Federal District Court. Now, it's true the U.S. Supreme Court has the most impact, but that court deals, for the most part, with legal theory and philosophy. It is the local district court that deals with facts and evidence, the heart of the judicial system, and the heart of a fair and unbiased trial. It's one thing to read a description in the newspaper or on the internet of the court's actions. It's quite another to see it on television. Furthermore, every story we see about the court is merely an interpretation, and an incomplete one at that, of what the reporter thinks went on. By opening the courts to live coverage, the people themselves will have the opportunity to see how the decisions affecting their lives, and often the lives of their neighbors, are made. It's true the court operates under a veil of mystique, and that penetrating this veil may remove some of the aura that surrounds the court. Nevertheless, we the people certainly need the opportunity to see how these decisions are made, and opening up the court to cameras and sound recordings is an idea whose time has certainly come.
Thank you, Dr. Burris. Make sure to tune in next week for his next media commentary.
Nashville Representative Justin Jones has sued the Speaker of the Tennessee House of Representatives, Cameron Sexton. Jones, who is a member of the Tennessee Three, the group of 3 Democratic representatives who protested gun control during the Covenant shooting House ruling, has sued for unconstitutional censorship of him and the views in which he represents. The suit also seeks a decision that his House expulsion earlier this year was unconstitutional. Jones is also seeking a restoration of his previous committee assignments, along with compensatory damages, among other requests.
A Tennessee judge who was accredited for desegregation in Nashville schools has died. After holding office and achieving many accomplishments over the years, Judge Richard Dinkins has died at the age of 71 years old. He spent over 20 years working with civil rights senators, including Avon Williams Jr. Dinkins also served on the Court of Appeals and served as a chancellor in Davidson County. During his career, he began practicing law while taking on desegregation cases for schools in Nashville, Tennessee. Dinkins inspired people around him and sought out change in the community. The funeral service for Richard Dinkins will be held at First Baptist Church, Capitol Hill on October 21st. Local responders got a bizarre call on Monday night. A crash happened going northbound on Interstate 840 involving a tractor trailer that caught on fire. When responders got to the scene of the crash, they found cows being hauled in the trailer. Cows were left to roam the interstate after the driver released them to keep the cows safe from the fire. Animal control and local ranchers arrived at the scene to help rescue and load them back into the trailer. The driver nor the animals were harmed in the accident.
A new lecturer joins MTSU for the Visiting Scholar Lecture Series. A writer who has received awards and serves as a professor specializing in history and Slavic studies will provide insights into the Ukraine-Russia conflict on Monday, October 9th. Serhiy Yakelchik, a professor from Ukraine and currently teaching at the University of Victoria in British Columbia, is scheduled to deliver a speech called The War Over History or The War Over Democracy. In his presentation, Yakelchik will dive into the historical roots of Russia's resistance to recognizing Ukraine as an independent nation. The lecture will be held at 7 p.m. October 9th in the State Farm Room of the Business and Aerospace Building. For those who cannot be present at the lecture in person, you can view it in real time on True Blue TV.
As summer comes to a close, there's still a little bit of fun left to have. City of Murfreesboro reporters took us to the SportsCom for the annual Puppy Plunge.
And as residents and their four-legged friends gathered for the annual Puppy Plunge event.
So we are just here for the Puppy Plunge. We came last year for the first time when we had moved to Murfreesboro. So definitely had to save it on the calendar this year.
Puppy Plunge, a unique event that takes place at SportsCom's outdoor pool, brings dog owners from across the city and their furry friends to take the plunge and enjoy this late summer activity.
We're just here on the last day before they kind of close down for the season. and just really letting the dogs play and enjoy the day.
A variety of breeds and sizes enjoyed the day, and one pup with his mom was even celebrating his birthday.
There's not a lot of opportunities like this around to be able to let the dogs actually get into the pools, and I think this is my dog right here. So yeah, we're just letting them, it was Harley's birthday yesterday, so we're just kind of letting them play today.
The annual puppy plunge at Sportscom proves once again there's no better way to celebrate the end of summer than by making a splash with your furry best friend.
Well, great to see our furry friends having fun in the local pool. They're definitely going to be enjoying it, and a great time to do so with summer coming so close to its end. And now Alex is back with tonight's forecast.
You might want to grab a jacket if you'll be outside tonight. Temperatures are dropping to the low 60s after sunset, which will be at 6:25 p.m. Shelbyville and Woodbury have a low of 63 degrees, and Mount Juliet will be 1 degree warmer at 64 degrees. Murfreesboro will have the warmest temperatures tonight, coming in at 65 degrees. Manchester and McMinnville will drop to 62 degrees tonight, and Smithville will have our lowest temperature of the night, sitting at 61 degrees. We'll have cloudy skies and low winds across the board tonight, and the moon phase will be a waning gibbous. So make sure you get a chance to see that. Dylan, back to you.
Thanks, Alex. When we come back, she'll be back with our full 5-day forecast, and Evan Snyder will be in the MTN Sports Den with a look into what the week holds for MTSU athletics.
Son, love is like the ocean. You have to tread the waters.
Dad, that's not the kind of help I needed. Jessica, will you go to prom with me?
Yes.
Thousands of teens in foster care can't wait to share their first with you.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all. If I could go back, I would. But I can't.
Once there was a boy who did the same thing again and again. One day, he was told he had autism. He got help and slowly learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Natural disasters are a fact of life in the U.S. And between activities and school, chances are you won't be with your kids when they happen. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids can help your children feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Put the keys down, Kevin.
But I'm gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
My text to emoji ratio has gotten a little out of hand.
A little?
Yep, I'm definitely gonna call a ride home.
So. Welcome back to Middle Tennessee News. Here is Alexandra Aguilar for our 5-day forecast.
Thanks, Dylan. For those of you excited for fall temperatures, we're almost there. Today will be the warmest day we have this week, as temperatures are expected to drop lower in the upcoming days. Tomorrow we'll finally be getting out of the 80s, with the high resting at 79 degrees and a 38% chance of rain. Friday's high will be 75 degrees with a 58% chance of rain, so make sure you pack an umbrella just in case. This weekend will even be cooler with temperatures in the 60s. Saturday will be resting at 63 degrees and Sunday will be slightly warmer, coming in at 66 degrees. It should be a mostly sunny weekend, so get outside and soak in this beautiful October weather. If you're looking for something fun to do this weekend to get you in the Halloween spirit, Haunted Murfreesboro is giving a tour of the square downtown this Friday starting at 8:30 p.m. This spooky adventure is set to explore the chilling tales and eerie legends that surround the historic location. Tickets are on sale through eventbrit.com. That's all I have for you this week. Make sure to join us back on Monday where we'll set you ahead for the week ahead. Dylan, back to you.
Thanks, Alex. When we return, Evan Snyder will give us the latest on football's Wednesday night dust-up and volleyball traveling to Miami. We will be right back on Middle Tennessee News.
Son, love is like the ocean. You have to tread the waters.
Dad, that's not the kind of help I needed. Jessica, will you go to prom with me?
Yes.
Thousands of teens in foster care can't wait to share their first with you.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all, if I could go back, I would. But I can't.
Once there was a boy who did the same thing again and again. One day, he was told he had autism. He got help and slowly learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Natural disasters are a fact of life in the U.S. And between activities and school, chances are you won't be with your kids when they happen. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids can help your children feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Put the keys down, Kevin.
But I'm gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
My text to emoji ratio has gotten a little out of hand.
A little?
Yep, I'm definitely gonna call a ride home.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Evan Snyder here in the Sports Den, bring you everything MTSU sports this week. So let's dive right into it. MTSU football will be back in action tonight at 8 p.m. against Jacksonville State. The Blue Raiders are looking to get back in the win column and bounce back after a loss to WKU. This matchup, however, will not be easy for the Blue Raiders as Jacksonville State is sitting at a 4-1 record. The Gamecocks are coming off an overtime thriller against Sam Houston, where Logan Smothers rushed for a touchdown and threw for 2 touchdowns as well and passed for 197 yards. Look for this MTSU defense really step up huge in this blackout game against Jacksonville State. And kickoff is at 7 p.m. over at Floyd Stadium. Next up, volleyball is also back in action Tuesday down in Miami to face off against Florida International University in a 2-game conference series. The Blue Raiders would lose game 1 in a set of 3-2, push them over a record of 10-6 and 2-3 in conference play. In this loss, however, Taylor Essert and Kayla Henley reached some milestones. Essert would become the 4th Blue Raider in history to reach 3,000 assists, while Kayla Henley would reach 1,000 career kills during the match as well. Adrian Lorda and Lau Jansen led the Blue Raiders at 16 kills, and senior Aaron Eisenhart recorded 18 digs as well. Look for the Raiders to bounce back in Game 2 against the Panthers tonight at 5 p.m. And then men's golf just wrapped up at the Wisconsin Badger Invitational on Tuesday, where the Blue Raiders had the lead with two holes left, but had to settle for a second-place tie overall. Once again, Owen Stamper was on fire, tying for second place overall individually, and teammate Michael Bernard also tying for ninth place as well. Next event for the Blue Raiders is October 29th through the 31st, the Daniel Island Intercollegiate in Charleston, South Carolina. Also, the Lady Raiders were also out on the golf course this past Monday and Tuesday as well, playing in the Marilyn Smith Sunflower Invitational. The Lady Raiders would place 6th overall as a team, and then Kendall Maynard would lead the way for the Lady Raiders, placing 11th, and teammate Abby Lee placing 34th overall. Next event for the women's golf team is October 9th through the 11th, playing in the New Mexico Golf Icon Classic. Lastly, MTSU soccer will be back in action Sunday at home, squaring off against Sam Houston in a conference play. Lady Raiders are looking to keep in their winning ways, coming off a dominating 8-0 victory over Chicago State. Catch Sam Houston MTSU Sunday, October 8th at 1 p.m. over the Dean Hayes Track and Field Soccer Stadium. That's all I got for sports. Once again, I'm Evan Snyder. Back over to you, Dylan.
Thank you very much, Evan. Awesome to see. And I got to say, I am really looking forward to some Blue Raider football tonight over against Jacksonville State in Johnny Red Floyd Stadium. Going to be a blast. And also, if you want some extended football coverage, make sure to tune in to Blue Raider Extra Point before kickoff tonight. It starts at 6:30 with all the fun. Myself and Evan will both be on the show alongside Matt Hayden, so make sure to check that out. And wrapping up our show today, it is National Taco Day. This day is celebrated every year on October 4th, and this year it is the perfect time to go grab some tacos and watch some Wednesday night football. This national holiday has proved to be a fan favorite around the country.
After a recent study, it was shown that 26% of the people surveyed said their favorite taco filling was carne asada. To observe this holiday, there are many restaurants doing promotions for National Taco Day. Whether you're going out to your favorite place to eat or stuffing your own tortilla shells at home, we hope you enjoy your National Taco Day, even if it is not a Tuesday this year. Thank you for joining us on Middle Tennessee News. If you missed this or any show, you can watch them on our website, middletennesseenews.net. I'm Elise Sandlin, joined by Dylan Simmons, Evan Snyder, and Alexandra Aguilar.
Make sure to follow us on all of our social media sites on Facebook /Middle Tennessee News or at Middle TN News on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. We'll see you Monday, October 9th for our next show.
Son, love is like the ocean. You have to tread the waters.
Dad, that's not the kind of help I needed. Jessica, will you go to prom with me?
Yes.
Thousands of teens in foster care can't wait to share their first with you.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all, if I could go back, I would. But I can't.
Once there was a boy who did the same thing again and again. One day, he was told he had autism. He got help and slowly learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Natural disasters are a fact of life in the U.S. And between activities and school, chances are you won't be with your kids when they happen. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids can help your children feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Put the keys down, Kevin.
But I'm gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
My text to emoji ratio has gotten a little out of hand.
A little?
Yep,